उमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So now we have begun with this new chapter, understanding material nature, in continuation with the teachings of Lord Kapila to his mother Devahuti. So here, just as in the previous verse wherein it was stated how a living entity can come out of the clutches of the three modes of material nature, two important points were mentioned: avikarat and akartritvat. Avikara means not changing from his position as a spirit soul, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. His eternal occupation is to serve the Supreme Lord. This is original position, not to budge an inch from this. And then akartritvat, not claiming false proprietorship of anything, of whatever he does, the results of his action or whatever. So here in this verse, this point of akartritvat is again being more elaborated. Sa esha yarhi prakriter guneshu abhivishajjate. A living entity becomes absorbed with what? With the three modes of material nature. Ahankriya vimodhatma karta asmi iti abhimanyate. Ahankriya vimodhatma, by the false ego which he has acquired through association with the three modes of material nature. What does he think? Karta asmi iti abhimanyate. I am the doer, I am the proprietor. So this is what he thinks. By the influence of false ego, he thinks that he is the proprietor of everything. So if he does this, then he'll continue being entangled in the three modes of nature. So if he doesn't want this continuation with his entanglement, what is he supposed to do? Give up the proprietorship. Till the time proprietorship is there, then all problems will be there of the material world. All responsibilities will come on your head. On the other hand, give up the proprietorship. Do things just as a matter of duty, as being instructed by the Supreme Lord through the medium of the spiritual master. Then no responsibility. If this is not done, if any activity done in any other way, then responsibility will be there. This responsibility acts in two ways. Prabhupada, in the purport, giving the example of Arjuna, it is mentioned here how action and inaction. Arjuna was thinking, I will go, if I go and fight, if I kill my grandfather, my teacher, then sin will accrue upon me. I'll be responsible for their deaths. He was thinking like this. At that point of time, whole responsibility was upon his head. The moment he decided, whatever happens, I'll follow the instructions of Krishna, he was completely relieved of that responsibility. Just by his decision to act on the order of Krishna. So here again, let us try to understand elaborately how each of these modes act upon a living entity and how that particular mode makes him think or makes him act. In the Krishna book we can see, in the prayers of the personified Vedas, there is one portion wherein this part is mentioned. When a living entity, he is in the mode of ignorance. He acts in a barbaric way, completely barbaric, means like sense gratification in a very crude manner. That is the mode of ignorance. See, we are speaking now of living entities specifically who have got this human form of life. All that animal form of life, tamoguna or mode of ignorance is prominent in them. After all that, finally even in human beings also, not that everyone are in the mode of goodness. There are many living entities who are like human beings who are in the mode of ignorance, who act in a very barbaric manner, gratify their senses in a very crude manner. And then those who are little elevated, say in the mode of passion, we call them, they are little civilized. Little civilized. But what are they doing? They are also involved in sense gratification, but in a polished manner. But the activity is the same, sense gratification. The people in ignorance in a very crude manner, people in the mode of passion in a very polished way they do this. And how about mode of goodness? They understand that the senses and mind are engaged only in material activities due to perverted consciousness. Those who are in sattva guna only can understand this. Oh, I am acting in this way. How? Going behind my senses, providing objects for sense gratification. They are able to see this. Though they may not be able to overcome this, but at least they have got sense to see what's happening. How my mind and senses are going towards material activities which they are not actually meant for. They are meant for a higher purpose. Through the same senses and mind, I can apply it in devotional service, elevate myself and come out of the loop of this material existence. This facility is provided for me now, but my mind and senses are pulling me towards material activities. A person in the mode of goodness is able to see this. He is not able to see this means he is in the mode of passion. In a polished way he is going ahead with sense gratificatory activities. If he is not even in mode of passion, tamoguna, in a very crude manner he is involved in sense gratification. But a person in sattva guna, mode of goodness, he is able to see himself. Oh, my mind and senses are pulling me downwards. Actually, I have got the capacity to go upwards by performing tapasya, by performing devotional service. When the perverted consciousness is gradually transformed into Krishna consciousness, then the path of liberation is opened. So how this happens? By devotional service. What will happen? the perverted consciousness is gradually transformed into Krishna consciousness. So this is what a living entity is supposed to do, having especially obtained this human form of life. Okay, next, now, so this verse is almost in similar lines, many words also. It matches with the famous verse what we hear from Bhagavad Gita. Aham kriya vimodhatma kartasmiti abhimanyate. So we have this verse from the Bhagavad Gita, which is that Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimodhatma kartaham iti manyate. Same thing, karta asmi iti abhimanyate, kartaham iti manyate. Yes. So now, a living entity having come under these three modes of nature, the three modes of material nature makes him dance in certain way, makes him perform activity in a certain way. But he thinks, I have done this. That means what? He takes the proprietorship of the activity what he has done. And on the other hand, can we completely say, oh, three modes are doing hell, what can I do? I can't do anything, I helplessly am doing, and get rid of the responsibility? No, that also, no. The resultant reaction, he should suffer. If he is not doing the activity, the three modes are doing, then why is he responsible for that? Why should he face the reaction for whatever activity which is being done? Let us try to understand this example through, say, two examples. Let us see. First example, let me give of a sari shop. If we go to some market area, at least I have got this experience in Bangalore. My uncle has a sari shop in Chickpet, very big sari shop. So there, if we go, in front of the shop, two ladies were being employed. Whole day what they'll be doing? They'll keep calling people, inviting, Bani, come, some new saris have come, some of Dasara is coming, special discount is there. Shri Krishna Balaram ki. So they'll be inviting people. Maybe as a small boy I was wondering, if at all someone wants to take some saris or some cloth, they'll come, they'll purchase, they'll buy. Why they should call like this? They're disturbing people. But that was their whole day's duty. 1, 2, 3 ladies were standing and they were inviting people. And many people, just like we also pass in many roads, many people just come there to see the marketplace. They don't have any intention to buy any cloth. They don't have any intention at all. Simply they have come to Chickpet, Badapet, Mamulpet, some shopping area here and there, they'll keep roaming around. Somehow these people, they attract them, and some special discount is there. No, I don't want. If they say, no, you need not purchase, you just come and see. Somehow they'll allure them and somehow they'll push them inside the shop. After going there inside, oh, very attractive. Looking at the cleanliness, AC showroom, and nicely things kept there, so things will attract them. So by the time they realize what's happening, the person inside, they'll make them sit there. What do you want? A sari, you want shirt, you want pant? They'll take to them proper whatever the sections where those things are kept, and they'll start putting in front of them so many cloths. You want this one, you want that one, which one you want, which color, and the way they'll be throwing things around them, this person will get bewildered, he'll get absorbed in that. And in that, some comments if he gives, maybe this color, the red color I like, 20 more saris of red color will be thrown in front of him. Like that they will try to get little information, what he likes, what that lady likes or whatever, and finally, maybe in between that, maybe one cup of coffee or chai also they will provide, and fully he will be absorbed in that. And maybe sometimes obligation, so much they have shown, at least some obligation they'll purchase, or they'll get into that mood and they'll end up in purchasing some saree, even though they don't have money, maybe through credit card or whatever, they would have ended up in purchasing it. So now, who is supposed to be blamed? Now this living entity, this person, he did not have any intention to get there, any intention to purchase that. Now because of purchasing, now whatever credit, he has to pay loan, he has to work hard and whatever, fulfill that money, whatever he has spent there. Now who is supposed to be blamed? So this is how a living entity gets entrapped. That person, at every step, he had an option. First stage is, though simply is walking on the footpath and those ladies attractively they are calling, he had an option not to get into the shop. Okay, well, maybe somehow he got into the shop. He always had an option to stop at any point and come out. Even after they showed whatever all those many things there, they whatever chai they gave, coffee they gave, still somehow reluctantly or whatever in any way, always he had that option not to purchase that cloth, not to purchase that saree. But his decision to purchase it brought upon him the responsibility to pay for it. So likewise, in this material nature, a living entity is sent. Hundreds and thousands and lakhs of varieties are being shown in front of him, are put before him. So looking at these varieties, that living entity gets bewildered and tries to select something amongst those. So he will be thinking, I am exercising my free will. But actually, where is free will? He is not exercising his free will. He is only choosing between either this Maya or that Maya. That's all. Both are Maya only. Both are illusion. Either this kind of illusion or that illusion. Only is choosing between that. Actual choice, where does it lie? In choosing or in selecting the option not to take any of those, not to touch any of those things, not to enter that shop at all. That is where his real freedom lies. On the other hand, a living entity will be falsely thinking, I am exercising my freedom. According to my free will, whatever I like, I am acting. And what is he doing? Choosing between 2 or 3 items that is presented by Maya only, which are all entangling for him. So this is what. So ultimately that living entity is responsible. He always had a choice not to use his mind senses for sense gratification, but to use it for Krishna consciousness. The 3 modes of material nature, though they are very strong, very much alluring, whatever, still always the living entity has the option not to subscribe it. Once he has subscribed, then he has to pay for it. So now let me explain to say another example how after this subscription what will happen. Now we know how we are all spirit soul. Based on our past karma desire, one kind of a gross body and subtle body we have been gifted with. So this body, say if I am given some dog body, I'll keep barking. If anyone comes, go behind another she dog or whatever, the dog's activity. So now we have been given this human body, we are acting in certain way. Based on my whatever past karma and desire, certain modes are influencing upon me as of today. Based on that, my activity, my thinking, everything, it is influencing in one certain way. I'm talking, I'm working, and I'm thinking in certain way. Likewise, another living entity, he also has got another person, he has got his own body, mind, intelligence, ego. He is thinking, feeling, and acting in certain way. Now, hypothetically, if we think there is some possibility to exchange the souls, take the soul from my body, put it in his body, take the soul from his body and put in my body, how will it act? If at all, like, let us take the example, my soul is taken out from this body and put inside Shantanu Prabhu's body. How will I act? I will act exactly how Shantanu Prabhu will act. I will start speaking like him, my voice will become like his, my whatever activity, movement and thinking, everything I'll start doing, thinking, feeling, everything it will do like whatever he is doing now. And his soul, if it is put in my body, then he will act how I am doing, the way I think, work or do. Then is there no difference? Everything, just the body takes care, then no responsibility of the spirit soul? It is there. Now, I have been put in his body. I will be acting like him only exactly. If I am put in dog's body, I will keep barking like dog. If I am put in his body, I will start acting, working, speaking like him. Next, this is done. Next, what I will do, what decisions I will take, sankalpa and vikalpa, that is there with the spirit soul. To the extent he is advanced in his consciousness, he will make use of the available circumstances, whatever body, mind he has got, and through that he will take the next decision, what to do next. So this can be observed maybe cumulatively, maybe after a period of 1 month or 1 year or so. If I am put in his body, what will I be after 1 year? That may be different. And now he is there, that spirit soul in that body, what he will do, that may be different. So this is where the difference lies. What, using the circumstances, what is given to me? See, based on our past activity, desires, karma, something we have got, some gross body, subtle body. What am I doing now using the present circumstances, what is being gifted to me? So, see, how shall we apply it practically? Say, we are all sadhakas, we have come here for practice of devotional service. Every devotee will be given a set of, say there is a circumstance, set of devotees around him, say reporting authorities or some juniors, seniors, his peers, some facilities are given to him, some resources are given to him, some responsibilities are given to him, and he has his own baggage of all whatever plus points and minus points, anarthas and some talents, abilities. Through all of these things, how is he engaged in devotional service? This is what matters. So everyone in a unique way will be provided with these circumstances. One person's whatever the circumstances around him will not be the same with another person. So all these things are given by the superintendence of the Supreme Lord through the agency of maybe the three modes of material nature through Prakriti. Who should he relate with? What facilities should be given to him? What should be his natural inclination, his abilities, everything, his anarthas, everything is given to him. It all happens by superior arrangement. But using all these things, how is he engaged in devotional service now? This is what matters. So usually what happens, devotees in conditioned state, naturally our mind starts thinking in certain specific way, being influenced by the 6 enemies: lust, greed, anger, enviousness, jealousy. Because of all of these things, they start thinking in certain specific pattern, falling into the trap of comparison, snake pit of comparison. Always, generally, this is a tendency. We always think the other person, he is being given more facility compared to me. Always the grass is greener on the other side. The chapati on the other person's plate appears to be bigger always than mine. This is a standard way. Or authorities, they are scolding me but not him. More service is given to me than him. This comparison, that is all the result of comparison. This is how the standard pattern of thinking. So, what are we supposed to do now? We should reverse it. This pattern, we should reverse it. We should accept the circumstances as being given by the Supreme Lord. Tatya anukampam susamikshamaano bunjana eva atmakritam vipakam. My own past, whatever bad deeds, good deeds, based on that, all these things I have got. But now what am I supposed to do? Hrid vak vapubhir vidadhan namaste. Engage through your heart, through your mind, through your body, offering obeisances to the Lord, rendering service to the Lord. By doing this, mukti pade sadaya bhak, he will traverse on the path towards liberation. See now, let us try to understand through some examples from the Mahabharata how the Pandavas, what kind of tribulations they were being put into, what kind of circumstances they were being put into, but still continuously their entire life was a life of service to the Lord, devotional service to the Lord. They were all born in such a great family, with such great responsibility, with such great attributes, quality, talents, everything. In spite of that, the kind of tribulations which they had to undergo. In fact, even Bhishma, he shed tears thinking about the condition of Pandavas. What have they done? They are so pious, they are so religious, they have not committed any sin, and they have Krishna as their dear friend. In spite of that, the kind of suffering, the kind of tribulations what they are undergoing, even it seems once Bhishma shed tears thinking about them. So if we look at their life, how all the tribulations what they met with, which they encountered, everything, they took it as a stepping stone. They accepted it to increase their capacities, to increase their attachment and affection towards the Supreme Lord. Just like few examples if we take, how in the earlier days when they were all small, after like say they were born in the forest, they were brought to the kingdom of Hastinapura. They were all studying under the care of their grandfather Bhishma. So out of enviousness, once Duryodhana, he was very envious of Bhima specifically. So he hatched a plan and he had his food poisoned, and Bhima ate that and he fell unconscious. And they took his body and threw it in the water. But after that, what happened? Somehow mystically, the place where he was being thrown, that was connected with Nagaloka. So he directly went to the Nagaloka there, and there many serpents, they came and bit him. His body was poisoned again, like this poison, that poison, and he got some beverage to drink there from Varuna, and because of that his body became very strong. He got the strength of 10,000 elephants. And then Arjuna, especially during the exile time, what he did, he took that as an opportunity. Now he knew at the end of 13 years there will be war, I need to prepare for that. And war means I am supposed to face all Drona, Bhishma, they are all such great warriors. Bhishma, in fact, he had defeated Parashurama. Then with normal weapons and all these things I cannot defeat them, so I require some celestial weapons. So he undertook more rigorous tapasya, went to the heavenly planets, and he obtained celestial weapons. Otherwise he would have not done that, because he was put into that such circumstance. For 12 years of exile, he took that opportunity to obtain celestial weapons, and after going there, he was being cursed by Urvashi to become a eunuch, and he took that as an opportunity, and that was useful for him during that 1 year of incognito, during the stay in Virata. And during that, especially this we have heard how in the beginning of the Kurukshetra war, he was put into a bewildering situation, and that became a platform for him to receive the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So likewise if we see through all these examples, great devotees, whatever position they are put into, whatever circumstances they are being put into, they will make use of it for advancing in Krishna consciousness. They will focus towards performance of devotional service and elevating their consciousness. This is one point. One more last important point which Prabhupada mentions in the purport, last sentence. A devotee, however, acts completely under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Thus his actions may not appear to be of a very high quality to the common man. See, a devotee acts under the direction of the Supreme Lord, but his actions may not appear to be of a very high quality to whom? To common men, to common people. For common men, they have their own standards. What are their standards? That person who is able to gratify his senses more and more, he is a successful man. And to gratify senses more and more, money is required. That person who has sufficient money, he is a successful man. So they have their own standards. But a devotee's standards doesn't match with that. What does a devotee do? His standard is whether I have pleased my spiritual master through my activities. Through all of my activities, is the Supreme Lord pleased? If it is yes, this is the standard. This is success for him. But a common man may not appreciate this. A devotee, under the direction of the Lord, he'll be doing some service. Specifically, if we take up this example in our temple, like say menial services, whatever services are allocated to us, everything, some whatever intermediary, some devotees we may feel, okay, this person gave me this service, this person or whatever. Ultimately, everything is ordained, sanctioned by Krishna under the direction of our spiritual master. Today this service I have got. It may be some menial service, some cleaning service, washing the pots, mopping the temple room, or cleaning the toilets in the ashram, whatever it may be. Externally, it may not appear very appealing, specifically, especially maybe in front of, maybe if our parents come or our old friends come, and if they look at us, "Hey, you are cleaning the floor, you are cleaning pots here, what happened to all your education, experience?" And we may feel little low because they have their own standard. Common men, they'll see in a different angle. But for a devotee, these services are given to me by the sanction, by the order of the Supreme Lord. It's very, very important for me. Through these simple activities of mopping the floor or cleaning the pots or whatever, I will be able to please the Supreme Lord. What more do I require in my life? So this is very, very important for a devotee. So if at all, a devotee also starts thinking in that way. And these are all some low service, okay, according to whatever mundane calculation we may be having, okay, these services are something high. Again, it's like nothing but we are also thinking in common man's perspective. That means consciousness is not elevated. So, voluntarily, a devotee always accepts tapasya, and that too specifically all menial services, those services which doesn't give us name and fame, we should prefer that. We should be eager to accept that. On the other hand, those services which gives us a lot of name and fame or whatever, it's very risky. A lot of pride will come, ahankara, vimodhatma, there is a pit of pit there, chances are falling down is more there. It is very risky. So we should accept it only fearfully, being given by our superior authorities or other devotees. Otherwise, we should not be very eager to go towards such kind of a services. It's always risky. Voluntarily, we should be ready to do whatever is ordained for me. If we are in this mindset and go ahead doing like this, then no responsibility. That's what Prabhupada says here. Thus his actions may not, a devotee however acts completely under the of the Supreme Lord, thus his actions may not appear to be of a very high quality to the common man, but a devotee has no responsibility. Carefree, we can go ahead doing our services without any mental pressure or tension or disturbances. If we don't act in this way, on our own something we do, all the responsibility falls on our head and lot of mental pressure we should be able to take up. So a devotee is simple, he is focused towards performance of his allocated devotional services, and through that he elevates his consciousness. So we end with this. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.